Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. Today we're looking at startup funding, specifically from December 16th, 2024.
Right.
It was a big day. 10 companies
Wow.
raising a combined $264 million.
Wow. That's pretty impressive, right?
It's a lot real. Yeah.
So we're going to kind of break it down between two main sectors that were really kind of the big winners that day: environmental technology
Right.
and enterprise software. So
Feels good.
let's jump right in. First up, we have Teradot.
Okay.
Now, Teradot is a Stanford-born startup
Uh-huh.
with a really ambitious goal: using rocks
Rock.
to remove carbon from the atmosphere.
Okay, yeah. So they're basically taking this natural process of rock weathering, which is
Mhm.
where rocks gradually absorb CO2, and they're trying to scale it up.
Yeah, they've raised $58.2 million to date,
Wow.
including a $54 million Series A funding round.
That's great.
And they've already spread over 48,000 tons of rock across thousands of hectares.
That's a lot of rocks. It is a lot of rocks.
Yeah.
And some big names are behind them.
Oh, yeah.
John Doerr, Sheryl Sandberg, even Microsoft and Google are on board.
Wow.
So they're clearly betting big on Teradot's potential to make a real difference in the climate crisis.
Yeah.
Next, we have WeaveGrid.
Okay.
And WeaveGrid is tackling a really critical challenge
Yeah.
in the transition to electric vehicles.
Yeah.
And that is ensuring that the power grid can handle all those EVs charging up.
Right. Because if you've got millions of electric cars all plugging in at the same time,
Exactly.
could overload the system.
It could. So WeaveGrid's software platform helps manage that demand by integrating EV charging with grid operations.
So it's a smoother, more sustainable energy flow.
Yeah, they just secured $28 million in venture funding.
Okay.
And one interesting investor that's involved is Woven Capital, which is Toyota's investment arm.
Interesting.
So that signals that major automakers are taking this challenge seriously
Yeah.
and looking to WeaveGrid for solutions.
That makes sense.
Now let's turn up the heat, literally,
Okay.
of electrified thermal.
Right.
They just raised $19 million to develop something called the Joule Hive thermal battery. Now, this thing can hit temperatures of 3,275 degrees Fahrenheit.
Wow.
We're talking serious industrial heat,
Yeah.
but without relying on those fossil fuels.
Okay.
So they're targeting those heavy industries that are notoriously hard to decarbonize.
Right. Cement, steel mining.
Exactly.
Right.
And they've got backing from ventures linked to giants like Holcim and Vale.
Uh-huh.
So it seems that the industry itself is really eager for electrified thermal's clean heat solution.
That's exciting. So up next, we've got Albert Invent.
Okay.
They're bringing the power of AI to materials science.
Ooh, that sounds interesting.
So AI that can discover and develop new chemicals and materials, so potentially leading to breakthroughs in everything from sustainability to medicine.
Wow. So their cloud-based platform is already being used by major chemical companies
Oh, wow.
like Chalmers and Henkel.
Okay. And with a $22.5 million Series A funding round led by Co2, alongside investors like TCV and Index Ventures, Albert Invent is in a good spot to lead this AI-powered materials revolution.
Yeah, that sounds like a big one.
Absolutely.
So this next one is Raptor Maps, a company focused on optimizing solar energy.
Okay.
They just raised $35 million in Series C funding,
Wow.
bringing their total funding to $62 million.
Wow. So tell me a little bit about what they do.
Yeah, so their platform, Raptor Solar, acts like an operating system for solar farms. And it uses data and automation to improve efficiency, increase the energy yield, and ultimately boost the return on investment for those solar projects.
So it's about taking solar, which is already a game changer, and making it even more powerful and cost-effective.
Exactly. And with the backing from climate-focused investors, Raptor Maps is clearly aligned with that push for a cleaner energy future.
Okay, awesome. And last but not least, for environmental technology, we have Cofactor.
Cofactor.
They're tackling the often overlooked world of supply chain management. Okay.
They've raised $17 million in Series A funding to help hardware manufacturers, particularly those in high-compliance industries
Yeah.
like aerospace and defense, navigate those complexities of global supply chains.
Right.
And over 50 companies are already using their platform,
Wow.
showing there's a real need for this. So in a world where supply chain disruptions are becoming more and more common, Cofactor's focus on risk management and compliance is really critical.
Makes sense. All right, so now let's switch gears a little bit and dive into the world of enterprise software,
Sounds good.
where we see AI taking center stage once again.
All right.
Leading the way is 12 labs,
Okay.
and they are using AI to unlock the potential of video.
Ooh.
So imagine being able to search, summarize, and analyze video content
Wow.
with the same ease you do with text.
That would be incredible.
That's what they're building. So their latest model, Marengo 2.7, is pushing the boundaries of video understanding, and they're $30 million in venture funding from investors including Databricks, SK Telecom, and even InQtel.
InQtel,
Yeah.
the CIA's venture arm.
Yeah. Shows the broad appeal of this technology.
Wow, that's really interesting. The applications are just mind-boggling. Everything from education and research to security and entertainment could be completely transformed by this.
Right.
It feels like 12 Labs is at the front lines of a video revolution.
Yeah, it does. So next we have Cartesia,
Okay.
a company developing real-time voice AI using a fascinating approach called state-space models. And their Sonic API can create remarkably lifelike speech
Okay.
with nuanced control over everything from tone to emotion.
Wow, so it's not just like that robotic voice we're used to.
Right, and get this, Sonic can even work offline,
Wow.
opening up a whole new world of possibilities for voice-controlled applications.
That's incredible.
In areas like healthcare robotics and even personal assistants that don't need to rely on constant internet connectivity.
Wow. They've just closed a $27 million seed round, led by Index Ventures and A-Star Capital.
Yeah, with participation from a staggering list of over 90 angel investors.
Wow.
That level of interest speaks volumes about the potential in Cartesia's technology to revolutionize voice AI.
For sure. Now let's talk about Vappy,
Okay.
a company on a mission to make it easier for businesses to deploy voice AI agents. So think customer service, healthcare support,
Yeah.
even interactive experiences,
Yeah.
all powered by the convenience and naturalness of voice interaction.
Makes sense.
So their developer-friendly platform is designed for speed and scalability,
Okay.
allowing companies to build and deploy those sophisticated voice solutions without needing a huge team of AI experts.
That's great.
Yeah, and their $20 million Series A funding round led by Bessemer Venture Partners, who are known for their keen eye for successful SaaS companies, suggests they're on the right track.
That's great.
So it's all about democratizing access to voice AI, making it easier for businesses of all sizes to harness its power
Yeah.
and create a more intuitive and engaging user experience. Vappy is definitely one to keep an eye on.
Absolutely.
Okay, and finally wrapping up our look at December 16th's funding landscape, we have
It's present.
a company using AI to elevate the art of storytelling in the business world.
Okay.
So they just secured $7.3 million in venture funding to further develop their platform,
Okay.
which helps professionals craft more compelling and impactful presentations.
So imagine having an AI-powered storytelling coach right in your pocket
Yeah.
that analyzes your audience, tailors your message for maximum impact, and even provides feedback on your delivery.
Like having a secret weapon for presentations.
It is. And their client list is impressive.
Oh, yeah.
They're already working with Fortune 500 companies and high-growth enterprises.
Okay.
So Present is clearly solving a real need in the business world. After all, who doesn't love a good story?
So there you have it. 10 companies, $264 million raised, and a glimpse into the future of innovation across both environmental technology and enterprise software. It's incredible to see so much creativity and investment pouring into these critical areas.
Absolutely. But now I'm curious,
Yeah.
what stands out to you from all this? Which company or technology piqued your interest the most?
Yeah, that's a great question. Let's take a moment to reflect on that, and then we'll come back to discuss our thoughts.
Sounds good. Yeah, it's hard to choose just one, isn't it?
I know, right?
They're all pushing boundaries in their own way, but I have to admit, Electrified Thermal's Joule Hive really caught my attention.
Yeah.
Imagine replacing fossil fuels in those heavy industries. Like, that could be a game changer for decarbonization.
I agree. That's huge potential impact. And the fact that they've got backing from those industry giants,
Yeah.
Paulus and Vail, tells me they're onto something big. The fact that even those traditional industries are recognizing the need for change, and they're putting their money where their mouth is.
Yeah, absolutely. And on the topic of game changers, Albert Invent
Yeah.
and their AI-powered approach to material science. That's fascinating.
I know, it's so cool.
The idea that algorithms could help us discover materials with properties we haven't even imagined.
It's incredible.
That's incredible.
It feels like we're stepping into the realm of science fiction, but it's actually happening.
It is.
And it's not just about cool new gadgets.
Yeah.
It could lead to breakthroughs in sustainability medicine. You name it.
Precisely. We need those kinds of leaps forward to create a more sustainable future. And speaking of sustainability, Raptor Maps.
Yeah.
Their work on optimizing solar energy, that's really compelling. Making solar more efficient and cost-effective is key to that clean energy transition we keep hearing about.
Absolutely. They're not just building solar panels. They're building the brains behind the operation.
Right.
Using data and automation to squeeze every bit of performance out of those solar farms.
Yeah.
It's a smart approach, and it seems investors agree, especially those focused on climate solutions.
Yeah, it's a great example of how software and AI can amplify the impact of these clean technologies.
Right.
And we saw that trend with WeaveGrid, too.
Yeah.
And they're working on integrating electric vehicles into the grid.
Yeah.
It's all about creating a smarter, more sustainable energy ecosystem.
And it's like all these pieces are starting to fit together. You've got companies working on carbon capture, clean energy generation, electric vehicle infrastructure,
Yeah.
and the software to manage it all. It's pretty amazing to see.
And on the enterprise software side, we've got those mind-blowing advancements in AI with 12 labs
Yes.
and Cartesia.
Uh-huh.
12 labs making video as searchable and analyzable as text.
It's incredible.
That opens up a world of possibilities.
Right. It's like suddenly unlocking this vast trove of information that was previously trapped in video format. Think about the implications for research education, even just understanding the world around us.
And then you have Cartesia,
Yeah.
creating lifelike speech that can even work offline.
That's incredible.
That's a huge leap forward for voice AI.
Yeah.
The potential applications in healthcare, robotics, personal assistance,
That's really exciting.
really exciting. And what about VAPI? Making voice AI development accessible to more businesses. That's a big deal.
Yeah. It's like empowering a whole new wave of companies
Yeah.
to create those voice-driven experiences for their customers.
Definitely. And helping professionals craft more compelling narratives.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, storytelling is still the most powerful way to connect with people.
It's clear that AI is becoming more and more integrated into our lives, both personally and professionally. But what I find encouraging is that these companies are using AI to augment human capabilities, not replace them.
Yeah.
They're helping us to be more creative, more productive, and more impactful.
That's a crucial point. It's not about humans versus machines.
Yeah.
It's about humans and machines working together to achieve more than we ever could alone. And that brings us back to a question you posed earlier. What does this funding landscape tell us about the problems investors are most eager to solve?
Well, looking at these companies, it seems there's a strong focus on tackling those big challenges of our time. Climate change, the transition to clean energy, and the responsible development of AI.
I completely agree. We're seeing a shift from investing purely in profit to investing in solutions that benefit both people and the planet.
Yeah.
Investors are recognizing that the long-term health of our society and the environment is intertwined with the success of these innovative companies.
It's almost like a new wave of conscious capitalism where profit and purpose aren't mutually exclusive. It's a really encouraging trend.
It certainly is, and it gives me hope that we can build a future where innovation and sustainability go hand in hand, where technology is used to create a more just and equitable world.
That's a beautiful vision.
Yeah.
But I'm also curious to hear your thoughts on something we touched on earlier, the role of accessibility in driving these advancements. We saw it with VAPI making voice AI development easier, and Raptor Maps making solar energy more scalable. Why do you think that emphasis on accessibility is so important?
That's a great observation. Accessibility is crucial because it unlocks the potential for wider impact. When we lower the barriers to entry, whether it's cost complexity or technical expertise, we open up these powerful tools to a much broader range of people and organizations.
It's about democratizing access to innovation, empowering more people to be part of the solution. And that's a powerful thing.
It absolutely is. It's about creating a more inclusive and equitable landscape
Yeah.
where everyone has the opportunity to benefit from these advancements.
I love that. But of course, with any powerful technology, there are potential risks and challenges. We often hear concerns about things like job displacement, algorithmic bias, and the concentration of power in the hands of a few tech giants. What are your thoughts on these issues?
Those are all valid concerns that we need to address head-on. As with any powerful tool, there's always the potential for misuse or unintended consequences. We need to develop ethical frameworks and regulatory mechanisms to ensure that these advancements are used responsibly and for the benefit of society as a whole.
It's about finding that balance between fostering innovation and protecting the public interest. It's a complex challenge, but one that we need to navigate thoughtfully.
Absolutely. We need open and honest conversations about the ethical implications of AI, the impact on the workforce, and the need for greater transparency and accountability from those developing and deploying these technologies.
It's about shaping a future where technology serves humanity, not the other way around.
Well said. It's about empowering ourselves to be better, to solve our biggest challenges,
Yeah.
and to create a world that we're proud to leave to future generations.
It really feels like we're at a pivotal moment, doesn't it? With all this innovation happening, there's so much potential to create positive change.
Yeah, I agree. And it's not just about, those big headline-grabbing breakthroughs. It's also about those smaller incremental innovations that, when combined, can have a really transformative effect.
Right, like all those companies that we talked about today, each tackling a specific piece of the puzzle, whether it's carbon removal, clean energy, or making AI more accessible and beneficial.
Exactly. And that brings us to a crucial question for you. What role do you see yourself playing in all this? Whether you're an entrepreneur, an investor, a student, or simply someone who cares about the future, how can you contribute to shaping this world that we're talking about?
Yeah, it's an invitation to think bigger, to get involved, to be a part of the solution. And it doesn't have to be something huge. Even small actions can make a difference.
Absolutely. It could be supporting those companies that align with your values, learning new skills that are relevant to these emerging fields, or simply staying informed and engaging in those conversations about these important topics. Every little bit counts.
It's about embracing that spirit of lifelong learning curiosity and a willingness to step outside your comfort zone. Because the future isn't something that just happens to us. It's something that we create together.
And the companies we've discussed today are a testament to that. They're not just building businesses, they're building a better world, and that's incredibly inspiring.
It really is. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of startup funding, let's leave you with this. What will you do to be a part of this exciting future? What steps will you take to make a difference?
The future is waiting to be written, and we each have a role to play in shaping it.
Thank you for joining us on this journey of discovery. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep believing in the power of innovation to change the world.